There are two versions of Minecraft available on the PC, Bedrock and Java, and if you play one of these, it can be very hard to switch to the other. I mean, as a Bedrock player, it's really annoying to play Java because you can't bridge out in front of you. The Elytra works entirely differently, so do the cauldrons and fishing, but apparently that is a solvable issue, or at least that's what the Bedrockify team will try to convince you, and so I downloaded the mod and clicked on it before realizing this isn't Bedrock, and I actually needed the Fabric API for that to work, which wouldn't work without the Fabric mod installer, but after installing all of that, here is Minecraft Java Edition, but it says it in the Bedrock style. Ooh, isn't that fun? And it is funny because I feel like most people won't even spot there's a difference here, despite Minecraft claiming that there is. It's so engagingly different. However, if we go to the single player menu, you'll see immediately that it's different. Wow, instead of that boring Java background that's just pure dirt you can see up there and down here, you can actually see a new world option, which we're gonna make a new Bedrock world experience, and I'm excited for that. Game mode survival, let's do it. Let's jump right into a Bedrock world with this fun tip, which isn't there on Java. That's right, Java players have to look on the wiki for things that the Bedrock version of the game just tells you by default, something Bedrockify has fixed. Use phantom membranes to repair your Elytra. Minecraft Live is useful too. All these fun facts they just don't get on the Java edition. So this is an incredibly interesting spawn. It's nothing to do with Bedrockify. Java and Bedrock have the same seeds besides the noise parts like the dead bushes and stuff, but there is a couple of differences you'll notice immediately. The position is right up there in the top left, incredibly intriguing to me, but also when I sprint, you'll see there is a version of my Java skin up there. So fascinating. You don't have to look at yourself in third person to see yourself in third person because it's always up there telling you exactly what you're doing. This is one of those weird things that they took from the console edition, and I genuinely don't know why it's there. Like, it's the sort of thing I never look at, I just kind of like instinctively notice. But yeah, as you can see, this is very different. Also very different is the hotbar, which as you can see, allows you to scroll across it like so. And something else that you'll find fun if I chop down a tree here is that when I craft myself some planks from this, I can now use those planks to do something fun and special, because look at this. I'm now going to be able to, so let's stack up a little bit, I'm now going to be able to build out in front of myself. I assumed from the way this was described it would work just instantly, but it doesn't. You still have to crouch like this, but instead if you're crouching, i.e. you've got the shift button held down, you can place blocks out in front of yourself. This is a huge Bedrock innovation, and it was mostly made for touchscreen devices, but it is a big game changer. I am a big fan, and isn't this just so nice? Also, I guess we should actually go over to that tree. If I'm going to chop down any tree, it should be this one. Although, actually, you might be wondering, looking at this, HUD with the low opacity, you might be looking at the rest of the menus and stuff like that, and wondering, are there any Java players who actually want this? And the answer seems to be yes, because 93 people voted for Make Java Edition menu more like Bedrock. It's been the same for a really long time now. I think we should make it look like the Bedrock Edition menus. And although at first this seems like a good thing, 93 people upvoting it, actually, I think most of these people were confused because all of the upvotes are from people like this registered user saying, for the lack of a downvote option, I guess I'll say I disagree strongly and instead suggest the UI on Windows 10 editions should start looking more like Java's. We've got other comments saying no, and instead let's do the exact opposite. Please don't. I disagree just the fact that I've been using Java for 5 years. I love the main menu. No, you don't, by the way. You might, and then we've got a random Russian email in here. We've got UO. Basically, no one agrees with it. Everyone says that the Java UI is just fine, and I actually disagree with this. I think the Java menu is really outdated, but it seems as though most Java people at least like it enough to keep it and not think that the Bedrock menu, which is more mobile game focused, is not the way to go, which is incredibly interesting if you ask me. However, it's not just menu changes they've made, and it's not just UI changes they've made to the Bedrock edition of the game to make it match Java. Wait, Java edition of the game to make it match Bedrock? Let me show you some other fun features, because they've also added all sorts of things from the Bedrock edition that you didn't even know were exclusive and probably didn't even care about until you see them. So here is what a fishing rod looks like on Java normally. Here's what it looks like after Bedrockify. As you can see, the fishing bobber is actually 3D. It's a very small difference made. It's not the sort of thing that people are genuinely choosing an edition over, but it might be the sort of thing you appreciate if you watch a lot of Bedrock or play mostly Bedrock edition, just like how you might really appreciate, oh, there's a school of salmon over there, that's interesting, but just like how you might appreciate, for example, the fact that on Bedrock you can bone mill sugarcane. Why can't you do this on Java? It's such a weird feature to make exclusive, but yet it is exclusive nonetheless, just like how it's exclusive to have your chat appear in the top left. Again, right where the position is for coordinates. On Java you have to press F3 and look in that whole mess, but instead on Bedrock you can just see it at all times, which is nice, but also if you type something in chat, it goes right up there too. That is the corner of the screen for chat, whereas on Java, it's in the bottom left. To me, I feel like the top left is the logical place, but I do have to admit that that does take some adjusting, and it does seem weird, because if I type a bunch of stuff like, okay, hi, ha 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 ha, you can see how it would start to really crowd your screen, and that's something Bedrock used to struggle a lot with, just like how you might struggle a lot if you're a Bedrock player, and you try to use the Elytra here on Java. So, wow, I just started a world by having Elytra. Wow, I sure didn't use that Java exclusive open to land bug, but as you can see, flying an Elytra on Java, you usually have to just hold it until you hit the ground, but you can let go because of this new feature, which has come from the Bedrockify mod, something I absolutely love. It is game-changing, and it means you can do all sorts of fun new things. If I had fireworks, I could show them better, but even just like this, you can see that, like, okay, I want to land somewhere, and rather than having to aim at the floor, I can aim over the floor there, so I want to go to the other side of the river to use my bone mill on the cactus, for example. I just let go in midair, and then I use the bone mill, and it doesn't work, because it doesn't work that way. Only on sugarcane and flowers is the weird Bedrock exclusive. This is one I didn't know about, and it weirds me out since spotting. I do hand animations. Look at my hands. What are they doing? I genuinely have never thought about this one, but now I feel it's weird that it's a difference. Just like how you might think it's just a little bit weird, the fact that the enchantments don't show on your hotbar when you play Java. Again, if you have an enchanted Java axe, you have to look over here and be like, oh, it's got efficiency 3, whereas on Bedrock, it's just there all the time like this. I think this is a really good improvement until you add too many enchantments. I can use, because I've opened my world to land, I can do some fun stuffs here, and like, you know, I'll enchant myself, so what is the enchantment called? Okay, I can't enchant myself. It's broken, but you could enchant and give yourself a bunch of them and they'd all show up. That can be annoying, but I think for 1 or 2 or even 3 enchantments, this is the far better way of doing things. Just like how I really like Bedrock's dyed water. Why don't we have dyed water on the Java? Like, look at this. So you use your cyan dye in there. Now the water is that color, and it can be used to do all sorts of fun things. It's kind of a weird one. Also kind of a weird one, by the way. I might have to fly to properly appreciate this. Let's go look at the sun, because it's probably setting right now. Oh, it's so weird to do the fly jump on Java. It feels entirely different. Like, look at this. It just doesn't activate in the same way that I'm used to. Honestly, the Java edition as a whole has all sorts of weird differences, and I think that's why there's no effective mod that can really cancel it all. But if you look at the sunset, on Java, it's usually just one big sun that goes away, and if we had a decent way to access this, then I'd show you that here too, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it, okay? Just like how you have to, okay, there's the moon, wow, isn't it interesting? It's dark now. Just like how you have to take my word for the fact that there is no effective brightness on Bedrock, something which is also true on Java. Why don't we have gamma on both of these options? Like, you know, even when you've got brightness set to max, you still can barely see anything at night. Just like how some people think it's a minor gripe that the boat doesn't have a shovel in it. It's funny because now on Bedrock they've removed that, but this mod hasn't been updated, and how it's a minor gripe to say that, wow, why is it that sheep don't tell you what color they are when they're sheared? That's a Bedrock exclusive, but not anymore. Wow, I can see the sheep is very clearly being pink. I think it's fun that this mod can add all of these features. It is a small subsect of the Bedrock exclusive features, but it is a lot of the quality of life stuff that you might appreciate. Being able to type in your chat and seeing it all up there, rather than crowding out the bottom of your screen, very handy. Being able to go into the ocean and know that the salmon are all different sizes, very, very handy, except I lied to you. Let me tell you the biggest flaw in this mod. The reason why you shouldn't download it, and it's not because downloading mods on Java takes like 7 steps and every one of those steps gets outdated at one point and gets newly updated with new updates, but instead it's because all of the salmon are the exact same size. You claim to want to bring the best features from Bedrock to Java, and you don't bring the salmon, I start to think I can't take you seriously. Just like how this skeleton. You can't kill me, perfect. Yeah, not gonna get me now, friend. But yeah, I think that I can take you very seriously and let you know. Did he hit himself right there? I've never had a skeleton hit himself before. I've got to do that again. Okay. This is my first time ever doing this. Genuinely didn't know it was an option, but let's see if we can do it. Okay, one more time. Oh no, just walk back towards yourself. In conclusion, I like the idea of this mod. It is very good at the things that it does, and I think for a lot of Java players, especially if they're recent converts, this might give you some of those quality of life features that you're really lacking. However, if you don't have the big salmon, if you don't have some of the other key features, then do you really have the Bedrockify experience? That is something I'd like to ask. And yeah, I think it's kind of fun that there's a whole genre of mods changing one platform to another. There is in fact the reverse, and I'd like to know if you think that'd be something that's fun to play with. But for now, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you think it did a good job, and subscribe if you want to see more of these, because I am going to see you in the next one. Right now, I'm actually way out in Quebec in Canada, so, you know, let me know in the comments and I'll read them in a few days. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next one, you Goodbye.